Yes.
Glass,
Yes.
Stratton, he said he's running behind. Evie, and Tucker.
And we need to look at the August meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. Roll call vote, please.
Glass,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes. Now we first need to look at July financials.
I'll make a motion to approve the Julys. We need to do both the same motion? Or separate?
It would probably be better to do it separate.
I see the July's been corrected, so I'd make a motion to approve the July.
Been moved and seconded to approve the July financials. Roll call vote, please.
Glass,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Should I include Matt since he wasn't, Tucker?
Yes.
August financials.
At the end of August 31, August 2016, we had $371,000 in our checking account, a little bit more than that. Had CDs, 405. We had collected for the month $72,700. For the year to date, at the end of July, $119,880. As far as expenditures go, we have spent throughout the year at August 31, $88,500. We have encumbered, or meaning we have obligated money of $13,672. The one thing I would caution the group on, tell the group, one of the things we've been going over with staff on a pretty regular basis is transfers. Right now, our transfers, with the transfers here, which is sales tax and use tax, we are currently about 30% down from where we were last year at this time. We are also currently about 8% down from what was projected. That is a major portion of the revenues for the rec park is that sales tax, and I think it's worth being highlighted. As far as our expenditures are concerned, we spent about $34,000 in personnel expenditures. Materials and supplies, about $7,000. Other services and charges, $17,500. And then we paid nearly $30,000 in debt service for the year. Our debt service is $14,931 a month. Utilities are running us about $4,000 and $5,000 a month right now. And don't believe there's anything out of the unusual. Now, I don't see it on this report, and I can't remember if it was in August or if it was in September, but I had okay Courtney to get a gator order.
It was September.
Okay.
Because that's what I was questioning too, and this, yeah, or it was September.
Okay, I just remember this, also, all this is as of August 31.
Yeah.
And that would be the financial report.
Oh, I have a question. On the supplies and on the small tools and equipment, why does that have, it's encumbered a so-called negative amount there? Is that something that's?
What that is, well, what that is, if you recall, if you paid invoices in 2016-17 that you actually had the money encumbered out of 15-16.
Okay.
So it's not penalizing your budget because of money that was actually encumbered last year, but the checks weren't written for them until this year.
Gotcha.
So during the first part of the month, first part of the year, we typically see that.
And Courtney didn't go anywhere this month.
I did not.
Not that she tried to charge off to us.
I'd make a motion to approve the August financials.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the August financials. Roll call vote, please.
Glass,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes. Courtney, you're up.
I don't have a lot to report. I will let you know that Northwestern is still working on their gym, therefore they will have to play one of their volleyball games out here next Tuesday night. So it will be interesting to see how many people we can get in there. We're gonna probably run a concession, just do drinks and candy, something simple. But other than that, just soccer, flag football, and adult sports on Wednesday night.
Do you know, Shane, how many people normally show up for the volleyball game?
A lot.
I think I've gone to a handful of them, and I didn't really see at the gym. I didn't see a whole lot there, but
It's primarily students, and the east bleachers, I would say, are typically 3/4 of the way full. And there's some on the ends, but the ends aren't good spots to set for volleyball because the ball's coming at you a lot. So most people sit right there on that east side. It's, I don't know how many people that encompasses, but I would say on average a half to 3/4 of the way full.
So will you run east and west, or will you go north and south?
We can't go,
There's no
we can't go
spots.
east and west, we have to, well,
You mean you can't go north and
we
south?
can't go north and
There's
south.
no-
And they want to go on, for the south side, instead of even playing in the middle for the sake of
Okay.
just Northwestern fans and crowd.
is there a way to move our bleachers on it? Relocatable,
No, what we are gonna move are the metal bleachers that sit on the ends. We're gonna move those like to the corners, so it'll be some more seating there in the corners. Yeah.
Well, do you think that there'd be, because it's not right there on campus? Just trying to figure out how to get that set up for a lot of people.
I think with it being first game,
Well, it won't matter that they're off campus.
no, I don't. There's a lot of familiarity already with soccer, so everybody knows where the recreational students, the new students know where it is. And with the half the pitch event the other night, a lot of people realize it's not that far. But I do think there'll be a lot, especially with it being the first game.
Would we be able to allow them to sit on the court, on the side that's not?
Well, we're gonna have the net up, and there's right there where the net is, they're gonna have the scorekeeper, and they're gonna have the radio, and then they're gonna have their SID and somebody else, so they're gonna be taking up quite a bit of that space. So on the other side of the net, they're gonna have to look through the net, is what I'm saying.
Right, I understand that.
So, we'll have the whole thing
I
open,
didn't know
they
if that
can,
was a possibility
they
for
can
the
pick and choose,
overflow.
yeah, where if they wanna sit on that other side, it may be, pretty
It
far.
may not be
from where it
it
is.
may not be the best seats in the house, but at least they could get in there and see it.
Yeah.
I think there's plenty of space, just numbers wise, plenty of space for the number of people that would come.
Okay.
Just sitting way pretty far away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Are there any safety issues that we?
I don't think so. Brad came out the other day, and Brad and Tim and Sadia, and we went over some different things. So hopefully everything will go smooth.
You want to address the minutes, the fees, or you want me to?
You go ahead.
Okay. Ready for Joe Dunn?
Okay. Well, first thing I need to report is that what was it, on the 10th, I believe, we had a big windstorm, a lot of wind. It bent our poles out here on both the north and the south side of the soccer fields. They were going, they being NWSU.
In the college field.
Yeah, they were going to come out and with heavy equipment and try to straighten it up. I didn't feel like that would probably be, but I just felt like we're weakening our poles if they did that. And we're just making it more susceptible to damage later on down the line. So we did turn in an insurance claim on that. We are working that through as an insurance claim right now. I'd ask what we need to get with a company that would see what it cost, be a quote on replacement, and then poles, and then quote on repair of the poles, just straighten it. Then we'll see what the cost difference is and see what insurance says on that. But in my opinion, if we go out there with equipment and just start bending them back, all we're doing is, since it's right there at the base where the bends are, we're just weakening those poles, and eventually they're going to break off and cause us more problems. We're not going to fix right now. Don't have a projected time of repair. The other issue that we had with NWOSU coming out with their equipment trying to repair that is that it would have messed up our Little League soccer fields. And with the kids running around out there, and it didn't feel like that was probably the most opportune time to do that, as muddy as they were. They said that they could probably fill them in with sand and maybe get them leveled out. But with little kids, I was concerned. We didn't want to sprain ankles, holes that didn't get filled in right or something. So we were gonna ask them to hold off on that anyway.
Do we have a deductible?
Huh?
We have a deductible.
We have a $2,500 deductible on the fencing.
So
on the
will
lights.
the college pay that?
I have not addressed that with the college yet, but I will. But I have not addressed that yet. I was just trying to figure out what we're looking at getting repaired.
I'm not sure we shouldn't address the college to see if their maintenance, because their maintenance guys are the ones that originally put that up. It wasn't a company that came in. They actually did that.
So I was gonna say the college put that fence in.
Yeah,
I
they
thought
put that
was
fence in,
deductible.
and I don't know if that's something they can come back and, and just put the next one in, and take those poles out and have them.
No, we still need quotes on what this would cost.
Well, but if the college does it, I mean, that's what she's getting at, just let them do it, right? Not turn it in.
Well, I mean, if they would do that, I mean, that would probably be the
Yeah,
ideal.
if they would do that, that might work, but ultimately, that's on our property. Even though once they put them in, just like anything else, it became our property. It became our responsibility.
But I brought it up to the previous athletic director, two previous athletic directors ago, when they did the fence around the softball field, they didn't put them in very secure.
Mhm.
They ever went back out and reconcreted them. They may have done the same thing on that. I don't know that for a fact, but they may not have put that in correct at the start with.
Well, but those didn't bend, with the they weren't loose. They actually, like, say here's the pole, it bent
They
like
held.
here. It did hold at the base where it was in the ground.
That was a strong windstorm. We have those like that all the time. I mean,
that happens.
so,
The windscreen on
Those
that
have
they put up, I
windscreens.
think.
Windscreen, yeah.
And then it's going to.
right, but I'm just saying, in the future, those things are gonna catch them again.
Yeah, and that is whether if the college just used their guys and put them in, if they didn't install them correctly, it's gonna be better off from us if we get them installed correctly, so that we're not dealing with this another 10 years down the road. Maybe it's 5 next time. You know, we get them done right.
I'm not so sure that even if they were done right though, the windscreen that they have, that they put on that fence, doesn't allow hardly anything to move through there. You know, they didn't buy the windscreens that have the flaps that allow the air to go through.
And that'll be something we'll need to address, because I think that was part of the reason it just caught it like a sale,
Yeah.
and it went to pole. That'll be something I think we need to address in the future, but let's get the poles fixed.
Right.
It's fixed first.
Something that we should possibly consider some back bracing on that whole fence, instead of just having a straight pole, have something come off to support it.
Well, and that's the reason I'd like somebody that does that big of a fence to come in and make some recommendations, because I can guess and surmise, but it'd be nice to have somebody that does that for their livelihood to come in and make that recommendation.
If we do the same thing, we're gonna get the same result
Yeah,
at some point.
yeah. And that's the biggest thing that we've got going on right now. And that's why it hasn't been fixed. It's not going to impede the college from playing on the field. It just doesn't look real pretty right now.
Aesthetics are-
No safety issues or anything.
No, there's not any safety
They're in
issues.
some vacant season right now, so, which they want to do it after the season anyway.
Huh?
I say, I would think they'd want to wait till.
They were going to come in. They were going to come in
They wanted to come in that next week.
last Tuesday.
Well, and patch it and not replace it.
Well, they were just. I don't think they were going to replace it to begin with.
Right,
were
yeah,
just
they
gonna
were
start
just-
it.
yeah.
They came in to repair it, not replace it.
Right.
We're thinking they need to replace it.
I think he
And
needs.
that's something they're gonna want to do when the season's over with anyway, I think.
Yeah, that could be. That could be. But other than some of the things that I've covered, financial side of the meeting, I don't have any other thing to report to the board at this time.
And the next item is discussion on maintenance of these baseball and softball pods. And it says that we have 2 bids, and then there's actually 3 in here.
So
The Echo one is part of Williams, is part of Thielman's landscape,
that's part of
Northwest
the,
That's
landscape.
part of this.
that was submitted as part of Thielman's deal.
That's how he did on that top dressing, that's where he came up with his money.
He bumped it,
Yes, he did.
$616.
After I went back and looked. You know, and as we look at some of this, and I really wished Matt was here by now, because he had done quite a bit of research on this particular subject. I think after the meeting was over with last month. But
Excuse me.
yes,
Matt Tucker or Matt Stratton?
Matt Stratton.
Okay.
I mean, I know Matt Tucker's done a lot of.
I know we were
Just,
talking
yeah,
about
there's
that.
two, we got a lot of Matts now. I mean, I know Matt Tucker had done a lot of,
Matt Stratton.
Matt Stratton had done some research on this outside of it, too. He had a lot of information I thought would be very valuable. We were going to try to get it out to the board prior, but just didn't quite get that done. If we just look at the bid portion of it, we're looking at, for DT spray and lawn, $82,000. Northwest landscape and pest control at $60,000. Some of the differences, DT spraying versus Northwest for just the top dressing alone, and I think everybody, from the discussions I got from last meeting, that's going to be probably one of the most labor-intensive sides of it. And those two, even if you look back to the sub for Northwest landscape, you're looking at $20,000 to $25,000 to get that top dressing done and have it done
Well,
in
the
a
one,
manner that should be done.
the one thing that I do notice the difference between the two, just on that top dressing part of it, if you will look at the DT spraying on the top dressing, he doesn't really have it where he's gonna come in and actually top dress the fields. He would come in and, fill the low spots, just him do it, whereas Eckert would come in with all their equipment and
That's,
so.
and that's part of it, and the other side to it is that, as far as the top dressing is concerned, DT didn't address the addition of the sand, the import of the sand, and whereas, Northwest, or the Eckert folks said that there was gonna be sand needed,
Yes.
but they did not quote that, so that would be an additional fee that we would have to get, to pay for the sand. And with Thiedeman's bid, he was estimating that at being $15,000 for that sand. So just the top dressing alone, if you went, we looked at the Northwest landscape, we're closer to $40,000 for the top dressing than we are the $20,000 that is with DT spraying. The DT spraying, they quoted us just a flat fee for the maintenance. Some of that maintenance did include, that was not included in, I think the Thiedemann did, I didn't see it as clearly, but they didn't come out and, chalk the foul lines on the day of the game. And I think that was something that with,
I know that was in question, at one time, whether that was going, if that needed to be part of it or not.
yeah, I'm not sure that it needs to be part of it. I'm just saying it was in the maintenance portion of this deal. As you and I did talk about that before we put it down. And they get a flat fee of $62,000 on the Northwest landscape. There were estimations of what it would cost for mowing and spraying and some of those. Well, mainly it was just the mowing that it was an estimation on.
I think he did it per time, didn't he?
Well, but he's
Yeah.
listed it out as per time. He said, he's estimating that it's going to be $7,800 for mowing. And if I did my math right on it, that's about 3.5 times mowing each field. If we were to come out and mow each field, it'd be about 3.5 times
Per week or per season?
per season for the legal contract.
That sounds right.
I missed part of
Yeah,
that. I
so
was
it
reading
doesn't sound
part of
right.
that.
Okay, his mowing, he's estimated, he's estimated at $7,800 for total mowing. But he's priced it in his bid as a per time price. So every time he comes out, he's going to mow, it's going to be $75 to mow the softball fields. For mowing the baseball field, it varies between 50.
Each time, 510 each time you would come out.
Yeah.
And say you did them all at one time, 510,
That's about
right?
10, that's about 15 times.
15.29.
15 times?
Yeah.
Good math.
510, I need a calculator.
The Bermuda grass needs mowed during growing season once a week, at least.
Yeah.
So how many weeks is the growing season? It's at least 30.
Yeah.
Well, and the point that I want to make on that, I'm trying to make on that, is I don't think the $7,800 is a realistic number to get to a total of $60,000. I think we're going to be spending more than that if we were to go with that deal. That's the point that I was trying to make.
Maybe, double that. Because if you say 30 weeks, I mean, that's putting you at 15,300 mowing it once a week for those, you know,
And,
and
you
that,
know-
and it's gonna take more than that once you start.
That's
But,
irrigated.
and we've also talked about,
Yeah.
So you're gonna need to mow more than once a week.
Yeah.
we've also talked about ryegrass in places.
Right,
If you ryegrass, that escalates that,
Yeah.
because you're mowing ryegrass
yeah,
past the Bermuda growing season.
right.
So, and it needs mowed more often. So,
Well, for example, I mean, I know that the college, they've done a lot on both their soccer and softball fields. He mows it
3 times a week.
3 times a week. Now, sometimes do I think it's, okay, you know, a little excessive certain weeks, yes. But then there's other weeks I'm like, hey, you know, it did take that. So, I don't know.
Well, that's it. I mean, I've talked to the guy at the high school that maintains their baseball field. It's ryegrass, same thing. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, off the weekend, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I mean, it's just,
Right.
but,
And you're right, it's about, it's about 15. Yeah, about 15. I think when I originally done my numbers, I picked up that extra 450 there for the softball fields, for keeping the vegetation.
How many weeks is the baseball and softball season?
Well, but it's gonna have to go beyond the season. You know,
But
I mean, baseball starts practicing in in April, so April. We have our big tournament in May, which really is kind of this kickoff to everybody starting. And then usually by July 4th, unless teams make it to state or something like that.
And softball goes through the fall, too.
It's the same.
No, because we don't have any of high school, middle school plays up there, so it's basically the same season, so time frame.
Joe, on the BT spraying, the mowing and all that isn't specified, is it?
No, he's stated in here that he will mow his, general maintenance mowed, grass will be mowed, infields will be dragged, on game days, watering every other day. Then basically the way I've read it, the mowing would be done as needed and on game days, and then it's, and for a flat fee of $62,000.
Kind of looking at two separate models. One
Kind of, yeah,
flat rate, one is.
yeah. Now, the other side to it is, I think both of them alluded to this, either in conversation or in writing, is that, one of their big concerns is that we let this out as a one-year bid, and then they do all the work, and we bid it again next year, and somebody else comes in and reaps the bid, turns in a low bid, lowballs them, reaps the benefit of their bid, their work the year before.
so it almost needs to be let out for 1 year to get everything in shape, and then with an option for 2 more years, and what they would.
That would have probably, in hindsight, that might have been a better way to have done that. We still have some leeway there, I think, that we could do some of that. But it's almost, not fair, because there may be other bidders out there, well, if I would have known I could have done it for 3 years, had 3 years at it, I would have bid on it. I thought it was just, So, it would probably be best to redo it if we wanted to do
I
that.
was gonna say, can we not accept either bid and rewrite the specs so we have it
We can.
instead of per time, we have, this is what it, or do it per time of mowing. So we're
We
looking,
can do that, and
And
one
then-
of the things,
and then possibly separate the top dressing from the rest of the bid.
one of the things that I would I think at this point, my recommendation, if I was to make one, would be that we did deny both bids. We seek to get the top dressing cost somewhere between $20,000 and $25,000 to
So
get
that's
that done.
without the same.
Right, without the sand, we'll have to bring the sand in. But, and we get that done first, and then maybe then look at, because we're gonna hire an outside company to do that.
Right.
And even if it's under, even with the sand at 15,000, we're still under our public construction limit of 50. Where it just basically takes quotes to get it done.
So we
And
don't
we can,
go out
and
for
we can act on that probably a lot quicker than having to go through a formal bid process to get it done.
And that would also drop the mowing bids.
That would drop the mowing bids down too, where, you know, they would be below the public construction limit, and we could, $50,000, and we could maybe get those done a little quicker also.
Don't we still need to address getting all the sprinklers though up and running before we do this top dressing?
The sprinklers are still gonna be an issue, and neither one of the companies
Right.
wanna deal with the sprinklers.
But I'm saying, shouldn't we get the, like Mr. Phelps is saying, get the sprinklers all fixed first and then get them top dressed? Instead of top dressing and then going back in and tearing
Yeah.
things up, fix some sprinklers.
Where are we at?
Because those
with
two
sprinklers?
south fields don't have any irrigation that works on them. Well, they may have one sprinkler head that pops up here or there, but those two fields need completely,
On the baseball side?
yes, on the baseball side, yes. Now, I'm not sure, I think the system over there on that northeast is working a little
I
bit
think so,
better.
yeah. I mean, the two north fields may need just a little bit of fine tuning and somebody to go in and
Nothing major.
nothing major. No, they're really in pretty good shape, as long as the water pressure out here is good.
Right, and
Which,
that's hitting us.
when it's good out here, those sprinklers work pretty darn good.
Where are we at on that process on the south end?
We're not, because it was kind of one of those, we were gonna see what happened with the bid and everything else, so.
Now, if that's something we wanna do is get that, we may be able to work in conjunction with one another, where we work getting sprinkler systems in, where we need sprinkler systems in. But at the same time, be working to get a contractor in here, because I'm sure that if we were to call a contractor up to come and do the top dressing, they're not gonna say, okay, yeah, I'll be there tomorrow.
Well, we're almost getting to the time where it's this season may be too late to do it anyway, to do the top dressing. Just because your grass is gonna stop growing and it's just gonna, you know, we might
Yeah,
be
they
better
know.
off coming in and getting those two fields completely with the sprinkler system going, and then say February, March maybe, I don't know, Matt, do you know much about that, as far as,
About the top dressing part?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
you know, maybe coming back in, and the grass is starting to grow up, and then it'll kind of come through. I don't
And
know.
almost what I'd rather, I mean, what I think would probably be a better idea is hold us to the timeline, is we get the top dressing, says, then maybe they do come back, hey, it's too late this year. You know, we're spinning our wheels, we'll come in April 1,
Right.
and we'll hit it and we'll be done. And, okay, we've got from now till April to get that sprinkler systems, get those sprinkler systems.
Well,
up and
but
running.
in my opinion though, if we're gonna wait on that, I think we need to get the sprinkler system in, because what's gonna happen is they're gonna start trenching those lines. And even the backfill that they put in those lines still could need some,
Settling.
yeah, some settling on that. They come in and they top dress, and then we have to go trench lines, it's gonna defeat some of that purpose
Well,
of that
that's what I'm
top dressing.
saying, we've got, if the top dress company says we'll be able to start April 1, we know we've got between now and April 1.
I thought you
to
meant
get-
after, I'm
no,
sorry.
No, from now till April 1 to get the sprinklers in and get it working
I
and make the
misunderstood.
system where it's at, where it's working. And they're off the fields and they're gone, and the top dress company comes in and they hit it, and they get it done, and then they're gone.
With that, we just set a deadline, a month prior to when they say they're gonna be here.
Yeah.
Set a deadline to have the sprinklers done. And then
Sprinklers in, settled, ditches settled, the whole 9 yards, right? And that gives us
Sprinkler heads would
timelines.
need to be leveled too.
Huh?
Sprinkler heads would need to be leveled too, because we don't want to have to go back and move them up or down after the
And on
top
those,
dressing comes.
and on those two north fields, that's what needs to happen.
Just raise it.
Some,
So that's not a big deal.
no.
We just go in there for a little riser and what we could, that's what we used to do on our softball, and I don't know if that same system.
Yeah, I don't know enough about them, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
deviate again, but if we're gonna replace the sprinklers or get sprinklers up and running on the south fields, we need to seriously consider if we're gonna move that southeast field fence in or not. There's no sense sprinkling
No,
on the
no,
thing if
yeah.
we're gonna move it in. So we probably ought to address that at some
Yeah.
point, if you think we ought to move one in.
Because that would save some money if we did,
Yeah,
if that's what
there's no
we're gonna
sense
do,
putting
there's no
sprinkler out
sense in
there and
taking the
moving the
sprinkler
fence.
all the way out.
It'd save on that mowing too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And the top dress.
and the top ends, for sure,
Yeah.
so.
That's the analysis that I have of what we've got and where we're at and what I've been able to learn. Like I said, Max Stratton had some other, he may have some different recommendations, but I don't know what they are at this time. I know we do a lot of
So we'll
research.
just table this and go over it again in March or next week, next month.
So
I would table it, or this is not the bids.
I would entertain a motion to table the bids, to relook at separating out the top dressing from the bids altogether.
If we table it, it's gotta come back as it is, so correct?
Yeah. And they're already kind of separated.
And
I'll make a few phone calls as far as,
and pursue the sprinkler system between now and next time.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Sprinklers on the softball field, yeah, okay,
yeah, they're good, we need to replace a few heads, but that's.
for their operation.
The only other question I've got, Courtney, is we talked about ryegrass.
Mhm.
Are you wanting to do that or not? Because if you do, that's done in the next month.
Well, the problem is though, is what are we gonna do on those two south fields?
Yeah,
There's
they,
no water.
if there's no water, then no.
Right.
But are you gonna try to do the two north ones? I'm just asking. I don't know if you should or shouldn't.
Or the top dress and choke it out.
I don't know. I don't know that process.
We would need to find that out. I mean, if it doesn't choke it out, then we'll do it.
Well, what I may do is call Echo tomorrow and just try to get some general information from him, ask him those types of questions. Kind of ask him when they like to top dress, what
I think on
season.
his,
Well,
it didn't.
and they have this overseeding option, which, like places that, when they're leveling up, that bring in too much fill, they're gonna have to top seed. Because the original grass isn't gonna come through if it's got too much over it.
Well, some of those fields, they don't have much grass anyway.
So we probably need to plan on having them do the top seeding when we do it anyway. And see when that can be done. Because a lot of times fall is when you do ryegrass.
Yeah.
Yeah, predominantly is. If you want it to be nice. and
Because you
less-
don't know
when the
how long
season
you're gonna
starts.
have in the spring before it just turns nasty hot and kills it.
I just hate to waste too much with on the fields that we don't have water on, because I
No,
don't think it's gonna
absolutely.
do us any good.
That's first.
You know, we don't wanna put anything,
Yeah,
at
first,
least on those two
definitely.
south fields.
Well, one thing, right now, we do have Greg has made a motion, unless he rescinds the motion, we either need a second, or we need to, and then if they don't get a second, it dies, and then another motion can be made, but as a point of order, we still have Greg's motion on the table. Right?
We have a motion to table on that.
Right now, my understanding is, Greg's motion was to table. So unless he either wanted to rescind it, and another motion would be made, or if we wait and see if there's a second to it.
Okay, so let me ask this, he's tabling the motion, what's gonna happen between now and next month's meeting when it's brought back up?
And that's the, because the table, once it's tabled, it really comes back exactly the way it is right now. And we vote at that time to accept or deny.
I could be saying whatever, which ones we don't vote on this particular one tonight.
Right, but I'm just trying to think, okay, what's gonna change if we table it between now and next month?
Nothing.
You know, if we rescind
no,
these,
we
then
can-
we can,
We can rebid it if we rescind it, correct? Or we can separate them and not
But
have
we
to
can
bid
do
it.
that. If we deny both of them, then we get the option to completely rework it.
And I mean, that may say they jack a bid up a little because they're not getting, but it also gives us the option to, as far as I'm concerned, save money with hiring it out, hiring the top dressing out.
Or we wanted to do the 3-year.
And yeah,
And we can, and
We can
if
have
we
that.
bid it out the next time, we can do that, we can specify that it is, we can specify in the bid that, you know, whereas we cannot contract for more than 1 year. Our intention would be that this bid would be let for this year with an option of over the next 2.
Or we have the ability to, if they're not doing the job.
Right,
Right.
right. Yeah,
So-
that's,
But if we're going to do that, does that have to be in the motion to table?
you
With-
don't want to table it, you'd want to make a motion to deny both bids.
Okay. Then for lack of a second, I guess we're not going to table that.
I've already sent it.
so now it's up for another.
Okay.
I would make a motion to deny both bids.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to deny both bids and go back for
Reevaluate.
reevaluation.
I think, Jordan, we can just really look at that.
Roll call vote?
Fisher,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Glass,
Yes?
Hanson,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Yeah, he knows.
Any new business? Does the separation of that count as new business? So new business is next on the agenda. Does, how we separate the bids being asked for come under new business to discuss?
I would say probably not, because new business would be anything that would not be reasonably known at the time the agenda was prepared.
Well, we didn't know we were going to separate them out.
No.
The agenda was prepared.
I mean, we've still got, let staff do their work and see what we need to prepare, see what we can get brought back together so we can have and maybe we can bring back some quotes and say, hey, here's some quotes we've got to do the top dressing.
Because when I was looking at it, I thought the top dressing was included in the two bids, and then we had the other bid that was specifically for top dressing only. I didn't realize that it was part of his bid.
Yeah.
His bid, yeah.
Yeah. He had included.
Because the
that.
amounts were different. He was adding the bid, so, okay.
That-
The wonderful thing about that southeast field, it's the worst one of the bunch. If we're not gonna get the sprinkler system in ryegrass, then what about skinning that infield for your tournament?
And
Playing
leveling
it,
it all out.
well, and just playing it like, just with a dirt infield, rather than.
Well, I think worst case scenario, I think that's what we may have to do.
Right.
You know, do I wanna do that?
No,
No.
I know it's a
but,
last resort, but.
Yeah, but if that's something we have to do, then I'm not opposed.
I think the other three would be all right.
Are we gonna be seeking bids on the South Fields for sprinkler system?
I actually, I have put some feelers out. I'm supposed to be getting some quotes back for sprinkler systems. I have not received those back, so
But you
hopefully
need to decide first on the size of that southeast one. Are you gonna play it regulation or are you gonna play Little League?
yeah. Because
first.
see, when we put up that temporary fence, I mean, it just stays there all year. We don't even take it down. We've never used it as a large field like it is.
If we put a
I would
sprinkler
assume
system in the whole thing as it is right now, can you foul ball? I don't know.
Yeah, you can
can't
probably
Foul
zone
it
it
off
off.
to where you,
Yeah.
if you wanna go back to a big field for
Yeah.
whatever reason down the road, can you do that?
I would think you can. I'm no expert on it, but I would think you can.
Well, I think you can just
I just know-
cap off at the boxes and just go, because
You can
we've
just
had
have
leaks.
another-
When we moved that other fence in there on that northwest side, we've had some leaks and some issues, and what we've done is we just capped it because it's beyond the fence. So we just capped that off and the water was moving.
I'm just saying for the bid, they need to know what they're bidding on, 400-foot field or 250.
I think, if we did decide to move it, we wanted to move it back. I think we could add sprinklers.
You can
maybe.
extend them out.
Yeah, yeah.
I think as long as you let them know that that's a possibility, they could put less on that zone out there so you can extend it out.
And what we could do is on that section of it, if we release them, have it as an alternate bid. You know, we're considering moving this in, we haven't made up our minds yet. We want you to bid it at the lower end, but as an option.
What would you do in front of this fence and what would you do behind, so that?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I think that's something you and Joe Don can talk about and decide whether that's something, I don't feel like, I don't know really if you need it or not, so I don't feel like my input as a board member would do you any good.
I guess I worry about what those trees will look like, because they're right up against that fence, and it may not make it, maybe we can plant some others, and make 2 rows
There's
or
a picnic
something.
area out there. Picnic area out there.
Well, you do too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So where are we on the concession and the shade? Those aren't,
The shade structure, actually, we met earlier this week about it, and we talked about some things. I've got a meeting with the shade structure. Courtney and I have a meeting with the shade structure company tomorrow out here at 1 o'clock. The bids for the concession stand are due to be opened on Friday, and at this time I don't have any.
so the shade structure bids have already been opened?
No.
We haven't put it out.
We haven't even put it out to bid yet. We're still getting our specifications down. That's what we're wanting, the specifications. So it has not been released or bid yet.
Anything else? Any other remarks?
One remark, or kind of inquire, I guess. I was approached by somebody just in town about, there's an article in the Woodward paper about the Thunder Carriage program, building a gym, or building a court at their park. And they asked me something that had been thought of here.
I guess outdoor.
Yes, outdoor basketball court. That's not part of our strategic plan.
Well,
See,
actually,
I think there was
courts
something
are part
on
of our
there.
plan.
Is there one on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
part of our plan's got courts out over here.
Yeah, I think it was we're playing our flag football right now because we had,
Moved it.
yeah,
Mhm.
but it's something to,
It's
yes.
that Thunder Carriage program pays for it.
Yes, if they build it, we'll take it.
Yeah,
Exactly,
well,
yeah.
I didn't realize they had one. Is that through the foundation or?
It's the Thunder organization, Oklahoma City Thunder organization, that built multiple
Courts.
courts throughout the state.
And I say we do our research.
Is that something that you can get some more information on that for me? Or let me know who to contact, I guess, and I can research it. That'd be great, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for paying for it.
Because it is part of our plan to do.
I asked Becca Cook,
Becca, okay.
said she used to work in the Thunder office before we came back up there.
I heard that on the radio, okay, one a couple weeks ago, they were talking about that.
I had an article in the
Notice that's a newer thing since she was left there.
Yeah.
so- But she know who to get a hold of.
Right.
Any other remarks? Then we are adjourned.